Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome back to another Nerf Blaster video on my channel. My name is Stryfe, and today we are finally covering the Stryfe. This is the CQ-10 version in the Elites line that was released late in 2019. I have put off getting one of these for the longest time because I always kind of saw this in the place of my Modulus ECS-10 because it's larger, more primary worthy. I thought, well, should I get one? You know, I've been going back and forth, and eventually I thought, you know, I'll do a poll and see what the people think. And everybody said, yeah, get a Stryfe, but in particular, most people went for this one. So this is interesting because it's the newest version, as it comes with 3 attachments, and it comes with a 10-round banana magazine. This is interesting because there's a lot good with this blaster, and there's a lot, well, I won't say there's a lot I don't like, but there are some gripes that I have. So I'm going to have a quick look at the blaster itself. We've got a few other things there to the side, just to want to make sure that doesn't fall over. One quick thing to note as well, it's really hot and it got bright all of a sudden. No, it's all falling off. Okay, let's try that again. It got really bright and sunny all of a sudden, so all the glare and the sunlight over here on the side of the screen is going to be a problem. Sadly, that's going to have to stay there. But yes, the Stryfe itself is actually quite a fascinating little blaster. This is the first one I've owned. I have seen so many of the orange ones on shelves for the longest time here in the UK, so I could have grabbed one of them. But I seem to be a little bit behind everything, because when I finally decided, right, I'm going to get this one, but I'm going to get the orange one as well. I'm going to paint it up and make it the Zombie Strike one, because all the Zombie Strike blasters and attachments, especially the newer ones, are in orange. So I thought, yeah, let's just get one of them. But sadly, they're not on shelves anymore. Bugger. So I went one of these instead. And again, it's not a bad little blaster. Everybody knows this blaster, everybody loves it. And in this series, what we do is I look at some Nerf blasters and I decide whether it's worth the purchase. The blaster itself, attachments, whether it's magazine fed or cylinder fed, and the price are all things I have to consider. And it's not a straightforward answer. Whilst most people will say, oh yeah, this is a really good blaster, for me, I'm not quite sold yet. So just giving this a quick look over, you can tell that this is definitely showing off its popularity, a successor to the original N-Strike Barricade, which had a 10-dart cylinder. There were so many modifications made. I can remember seeing these all back in the day as well, where people used the, I think they just used the Raider magazine well, chucked that in there and made it its own thing. But even people were able to just remove the cylinder and fit a magazine, kind of balance it in place or something like that. I can't remember the details, it's like a decade old now. But yeah, it was interesting to see all that happen. I thought, oh, Nerf should do that, and so along came the Stryfe. So you have 2 tactical rails, one on the top here, one on the bottom here, which I think is very good. This one is a bit awkward because I like to use drums. If I'm going to have something here, it can't be a grip, because I'm going to bash my wrist against the drum, that's going to get uncomfortable. I'm going to look into that in the combos video for this blaster. Stock and barrel attachment point, of course it has to, because this is going to be, you know, it can't be that kind of blaster then. If it didn't have either of these things, like the Barricade was re-released into the Stockade, it kept that massive barrel point at the front. You couldn't actually attach other barrels. If the Stryfe did the same thing, no way would this be as popular. Absolutely no way. There'd be a lot of mods still to kind of replace the barrel lug to be able to take barrel attachments, absolutely sure of that. So yeah, this is, again, just looking over, because it's still fairly new to me. It's quite interesting because I don't get why this side is chunkier, because you look it down the side there, it kind of sticks out a bit more on this side than it was on this side. It makes it very thin otherwise, probably as thin as the Mediator. I could go and grab it, but I'm not going to do that. But I do kind of like that it's offset, because obviously that symmetry is nice for some people, but that lack of symmetry makes it stand out more, which I think is a good thing. So that's pretty much, I mean, I don't really need to say much else. We all know the Stryfe, we all love the Stryfe. I'm still learning to love the Stryfe. And we'll tell you what, one other good thing, I've actually been playing with this a lot. Because this is an older blaster, these teeth on the tactical rails are still springy. Much easier to get attachments on and off, so I love that very much. Right, let's move on to the attachments that this Stryfe in particular comes with, because this is the first Stryfe to be released with 3 attachments. The previous Stryfe came with 2 attachments, and that was in the Modulus line. Whilst it was a bit interesting to see it come with attachments, it wasn't exactly exciting because, yes, we're getting a new Stryfe, but the attachments that it came with were ones that we've already seen. It previously came with a grip that was used in the Modulus ECS-10 and a barrel extension that came with the Ion Fire. So, yeah, I'll let you decide whether you are interested in that. That's tiny barrel in particular is something I would like to try and get hold of one day. But this one comes with the teeny tiny stock from the Recon Mark II. Why, you stupid idiots, Hasbro. Folding stock, interesting choice. Not the most comfortable thing with most Nerfers, but I do like it. I don't like it in this position, especially with the blaster this small. And it's awkward for me to kind of hit my wrist up like that. But like this, I could definitely get used to it. And again, this is a grip that I favour because the grip itself is further forward on this plate. Where most grips will have the grip in the centre, this is at the front again. And this also includes the stealth barrel from the Modulus Stealth Ops kit. So yeah, these are all attachments that we've seen before, but they are reskinned, obviously. And I do actually like the way they've been reskinned. They've got this new look to it. So what I saw with the kind of Infamous and all the Elite blasters after that was this kind of plain sort of blue look. We've got some black details, more orange details. They're getting rid of that white stripes. That I'm happy with. You're always going to see orange on these Nerf blasters. May as well make orange the secondary colour. The use of the black does make it a little bit more intimidating, and this definitely looks really cool. But again, it's stuff we've all seen before, so it's not particularly exciting. Whilst it was really good to bring the Stryfe back for customers like myself, who have missed out on the Stryfe in the past, can now have the opportunity to get a brand new one. Whilst I can definitely get other ones online, like eBay for example, for probably a much better price. It's nice to get one brand new just to know that, you know, it's high quality product. So yeah, I think in terms of the skin, it's all nicely detailed. I'm not, again, falling in love with this as much as other people have in the past. This one in particular does also come with a 10 darts banana magazine. I've got loads of these now, and frankly I don't really want them. I want to try and get some 18 darts, but oh well. So yeah, all in all, this is a nice compact little package. But if I go to shoulder it again, look what's happening to my shoulder. Look at that, that's just awful. I need to try and bring it out to there. That stock isn't going to work. And that moves on nicely into what I want to do next. So, upon purchasing the Mediator, I thought, well, if I'm going to have the blaster, I might as well get the two attachments. So I got the barrel blaster shotgun attachment down there, but I've got the stock in particular. This is my new favourite stock because this is a very lengthy stock, very comfortable as well, all around just really good. I absolutely love this. Oh dear. Sadly, I can't use my favourite stock on this potentially new favourite blaster. It doesn't fit. So let me just zoom in so you can see that it's going all the way in. Really pushing it in. Nothing. I'm not even touching this. As you can tell, my hands are far away from it. It doesn't fit. This is one of the best stocks Nerf has made. Plenty in length. Very cool. And it doesn't stay on. That is a massive problem. I had to change my personal combo quite a bit because it was more long range focus and I had to become more close range orientated. But yeah. Why this one? I mean, come on. So, yeah, all in all, this is not a bad blaster at all. I mean, everybody loves the Stryfe. It's still something I'm not going to go to because I'm the kind of Nerfer who would only just run a primary. If I'm going to run a secondary, I'd have something like, you know, good old Maverick. I'll probably just mod that and paint that. Get a hammer shot maybe. But if I'm going to use a sidearm, I would definitely use a cylinder-fed blaster. That way I'm not tempted to use magazines, otherwise I'll try and turn that into a primary. Something like this, I could definitely see the appeal in this becoming a sidearm, because obviously if I take these attachments off again, it definitely has the pistol kind of look to it. So yeah, nice and small, very cool to use, and definitely have something like potentially strapped to your thigh, just, you know, or wherever you want to holster it. But even as a primary, it has all of this combo potential, all the attachment points on there. It looks really good. It can definitely work with other attachments, except for that Mediator stock, which is a real pain in the ass. But all in all, we now need to decide whether this is worth the purchase. Now, I'm going to talk about this one in particular, because in the past, Stryfe has been released a number of times. We've had the original blue version, which similar to this, but had the white details on it. It had the orange version, which people call the OJ version. There was the Modulus re-release, there was the Battle Camo version of this, which is never going to come to the UK for another 2 years maybe. Oh, pardon me. And we now have this one. This is the most expensive of all of the Stryfes. I may as well tell you this. All the Stryfes originally, brand new, were about £20 UK. This was £35, nearly double that. I saw this, like, when I first saw this in an Argos catalogue, which is where I discovered it for the first time. I thought, you know what, let's just get a Stryfe. Look at the price tag, I thought, fuck that. No way. Then I came back about 3 weeks later and I was kind of talking myself into it. That's when I made that poll back on my channel a few months ago. And eventually I just thought, yeah, let's just get one. I mean, I can afford it. It's going to be okay. It's a good blaster. I mean, I got no knocks against this. So yeah, this one in particular, I can't say yes, get it, because it's very expensive. But a Stryfe blaster itself is definitely worth the purchase. If you're getting into the Nerf hobby for the first time, this comes with 3 attachments, so that's a good thing. More attachments means more variety, more fun. But it's definitely worth going on eBay, just trying to find an older version for half the price, because you could definitely find that. It is amazing, especially with all the aesthetic mods that you can get, all these 3D printed kits. I'm never going to do that, I'm not that type of nerfer, but it's a thing that's available, so that's definitely something worth considering. So yeah, the Stryfe is a blaster worth buying, but I'm questionable about the purchase on this one in particular, because of the price tag alone. I don't know about any of the Stryfe having problems with the stock attachment points. I don't have any other Stryfe, so I can't test the mediator stock attachment with the rest of them. I can only assume that it doesn't, because why would this stock attachment point be a little bit longer or be a little bit shorter? It's basically a reskin. So yeah, there is all that. I don't think I've got anything left to say. The Stryfe is a good blaster, but I'll leave it up to you if you want to get this one. What are we going for? 11.5 minutes. Let's end it here. There we go. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I shall see you all in the next episode. Bye.